Do you constantly remind your husband he's handsome?
Every day. My husband is handsome. No one can tell me otherwise. That man is hot. He's beautiful. Inside and out. He is a beautiful man. And he's a good father. And he's a good partner. If you walked in right now, I'm still in awe of how he looks.
Yeah.
Every day I tell him, and he always jokes and tells me still, I tell him, imagine you're hot. So marriage is awesome in the sense that I get to discuss with my husband. This is what I'm thinking. This is how it should be. If I'm unhappy, he'll know. I'm not somebody to hide. In the past, I could sulk. Now maturity has taught me sometimes when you sulk, it's only you and you're sulking. No one knows what you're sulking about.
Yeah.
Because if you don't tell me, if I don't tell you, Lynn, I'm irritated with you because of ABCD, can you know how to tell me either sorry or give me a solution? Can you? No. I like to say the man is the head, I'm the neck. Meaning, again, it is not what does dictatorship look like? What triggers are you carrying? Why does somebody tell you no make you feel that he's trying to control you? If you know who you are, and if you're open to saying that, you would not feel that way. I was experiencing a lot of hot flashes. I was experiencing at the same time a bit of a stomach, a gut. And then I thought to myself, and I was still exercising, I was lifting weights and I was doing this, and I said, this is not normal. And at the same time, I'd not seen my periods in a long time. So I go and I get checked. I make an appointment and they check. I do all these tests and the results come back. And she tells me, I have menopause. And I'm like, no, I was 41 then. I just had a birthday and I was 41. So I told her, are you sure? And she told me, yeah, it's 100% you've got menopause.
A very good morning to you and a warm welcome to LNS. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Guys, have you ever wanted to host someone and you knew by the time this person just leaves your set, she's going to leave you with amazing energy? I don't even want to introduce her because when I bumped into her, I had a lot of questions, especially as a woman. You know, you get those thoughts like, how is she 43 with 4 kids, looking successful, had a menopause scare, she's living a beautiful life, her marriage is working 16 years, and you're just like, God, why can't I just bring my people this conversation so that they know, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Marriages are not a scam, they really do work, but what work do we have to put in them so that they work? And also if you're a woman and you're struggling and you are like, oh my God, it's too late, I don't have kids yet, what am I gonna do? This conversation is for you. And I just told her before we started off record, I was telling her, I'm just going to be intentional with this platform. I've decided I'm going to do shows that I said build me, but that's not what I meant. But then it's shows that speak to me, because if they speak to me, then I'm able to deliver them to you guys in a way that is most authentic. And I want us to celebrate our series dubbed Rebuilding, because even for myself, I'm trying to rebuild myself. I'm trying to just put the pieces back together so that, you know, you never get it right all the time, but I know where there is a will, there is a way. And of course, guys, I want you to tell me what your thoughts are about Kings Developers Limited. We've talked about them. You know what they do right now. So go get yourself something. Get your house if you're in a position to be able to. And I appreciate the feedback that you continue giving me about them. But even before I can let my guest introduce herself, thank you for the amazing love you've shown this platform. Gets emotional sometimes knowing that we are barely 2 years and this is what we've been able to do together. So asanteni sana. I don't want to speak much. My outfit today is not from elegance, but you know how we do it, guys. Go support them and show them some love. Those are our people. And now without further ado, please allow me to let my beautiful, energetic, positive guest introduce herself. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Lynn. That was lovely for the introduction. I'm in awe, of course, to meet you, as I told you before. When you called, I was like, are you sure it's Lynn? But I heard your voice. So I knew it was you. Yes. So thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I have been watching your show. I have been inspired by the different guests you had on. And I love what you say. It's about things that speak to you, and so that you can bring that you know, along with you. Yeah. And you mentioned rebuilding season, right?
Yes.
And interesting, 2023 is my year of restoration.
Kid you
so
me?
Rebuilding, restoration, all together, right?
Yes.
So that's a process, yeah. So you'd like me to then say my name?
Yes, please.
Okay, so my name is Vinita Otieno Wanjohi. I'm not even sure that to look at you.
No, you can look at them.
So my name is Vinita Otieno Wanjohi. Thank you for saying I'm 43. I recently turned 44.
Oh,
May 21st. I'm still accepting gifts or presents.
Please, guys, can we spoil her with prayers?
Amen.
Yes.
Prayers are even more important than that. Yeah. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. You know, I feel like, have you ever felt like you're sitting with, can I call you big sister? Like you're sitting with someone who is just like, you know, there are people, I move with energy. Yeah. So I'll sit with someone and I'm sure like our energy won't click. But the first time I talked to you, you know, I was like, you know, I DM'd you and then my phone had a typo. So I said, hi, Vivian.
I know, I was like, who's Vivian?
Oh my God.
But I was so shocked you DM, so I was like, let me just respond.
No, you are so sweet. It's like you replied first to me, then you made a joke happen, and you were like, hey, it's Vinita, not Vivian. You just have an amazing soul. And so I don't even know which way our today's conversation will take, but I brought you here so that you are able to inspire my audience. You know, someone said, it's like everyone is angry right now. Yeah. Jana, we were driving home and the guys kept ting at each other, hooting, that's the word. And I was like, God, I think everyone is so angry. There's some energy in the air. You know, it's like people are broken, people are angry. We are trying to find inspiration, but there's not much of it. So when I bumped into your story, personally, I was really inspired because I want to stop talking. So guys, let me just summarize it for you. So you speak of wellness, you know, mindfulness. You are so gorgeous, not even outward. You know, we were joking and we said people who gym, they have this crazy amount of discipline in them because I've done it before and I know what it takes to commit to working out. And I look at you. You have this beautiful family, you have this beautiful marriage story, you got yourself a man that loves you, adores you, and he got himself a woman that values him, loves him, and adores him. So maybe if you could take us through your story, we want to understand you growing up, to getting into this life of fitness, to getting into this life where you are self-aware, to meeting this person that you love so much, to having your kids and how you juggle all this, not even to mention your franchise, the gym.
Thank you, Lynn. So
you are this. I'm done.
You've taken it from my
Polenica, sweetie. I'm done.
Well, I like to say life is a process. I'm still learning and unlearning a lot of things. Yeah. I think for me, like I've mentioned, 2023 is my year of restoration. And with the restoration, of course, comes reflection. So when you ask me, how has this always been, I don't know exactly where to begin. But I'll start with my love for fitness because fitness led me to my husband, gave me balance, which led to my children and my work life. So it's work-life balance. Yes. So I've always been passionate about fitness. From when I was a little girl, I like to say from class 2, I discovered that when I exercise, I feel good. And not feel good physically, I can process better emotionally. Of course, then I didn't know it was emotionally. I just knew that it left me feeling the endorphins that I can go forth and I can do that. Then I'll jump forth. So 14, got into the gym, exercise again. And I met some good trainers along the way at Parkland Sports Club who again ignited the passion in me to then decide this is where I want to be. I want to meet people and leave them feeling better. Wellness-wise, fitness has been linked a lot to how your body shape is and how that is. And perhaps I'll speak on that. Maybe in my 20s, that was my obsession because I did competitive bikini bodybuilding. So it was how lean can you be? But I'm so grateful it's a tool that I've carried with me along life because then comes your 30s. In your 20s, you're experiencing love, loss. 30s is children. 40s, I guess, another child because I got my fourth born at 44. So then comes fitness. I'm 24, 25. Then I met my husband in the gym. So I always joke, the gym gave me a husband. And ladies, for those who are single or in such, I always say a man who gyms is a disciplined person.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody who's committed. It doesn't mean he has to... My husband, by the way, these days doesn't go to the gym, but he bikes and he ensures that he carves out some period of time for his wellness, which I think if you do, will give you another X amount of time to commit to your family.
Yes.
So yeah, so I'm 25, I bump into my Duncan Wanjohi.
Oh,
Yeah. So we've been married 16 years. We've been together, I'd say 17, 18 years. Yeah, so I bumped into him at the gym, and I like to say when I saw him, I already saw a vision of our children, and I knew we'd be married. Yeah, so I tell people I didn't see the gender of the child, but I knew he was my person.
How do you know? How do you go to the gym?
I've really tried to think on that, because my intention for going to the gym was not to find a husband or a partner. There are cute people in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
But that wasn't my intention. My intention, I knew when I exercise, first thing in the morning, I commit to me. My day starts pretty early. I start with my Bible study. After Bible study comes my fitness. That is important because it gives me structure and purpose. So I'm in the gym, I'm reading a magazine. I was on the cross trainer, I'm exercising. I glanced to the door and I glanced again. And in that glance, I saw it. I saw it. I saw we're older. I was on the tricep extension, which is the machine you hold this way.
Yes.
And there were children around us.
Wow.
Yeah, and they were sitting down on there. Flashback now, of course, in my 30s, that possibly was the gym we're at currently, because then we go with our kids to the gym.
Oh.
So I knew. I said to myself, I laughed. And I said, that's my husband. Then I finished the gym and I called my mom. And I told her I've met my husband. My mom lives in Kisumu, and she's like, no, this woman, okay. And then I called my best friend. Then I told her, please come to the gym in the morning. I've met my husband. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, just come and see. He's my husband. We'd not talked.
Yeah.
We'd not spoken. But I was certain, for sure. A few weeks before that, I'd written a list of what I wanted. Nairobi has frogs, huh? So when I came, and no, it does. So when I came, I went on a couple of dates. First one, I was like, no. The second guy, I remember I went on a date with, didn't even notice when I left.
Oh.
But called me to say they're leaving. So I told him, I'm already home. Oh. Like, I've washed my face, I'm in bed.
Oh.
He's like, how could you leave without saying? But I was like, how didn't you notice when I left? So I was very intentional, and I told God, this is what I'm looking for.
Well, what were you looking for?
I wanted somebody who loves God. I wanted somebody who loves his mom. I wanted that relationship to be solid. I wanted a friend. I wanted somebody who's fit. I didn't ask for much. And I wanted somebody with colored eyes. His eyes are brown.
Oh, yeah?
So I was like, I was like, God. And it was like a joke. But it happened in 2 weeks. I'm not sure what it was about the action of writing or the frustration of being like, I am done. I don't want to give anyone my time who will waste it. I was 25 and I knew I don't want that.
Oh.
I knew. I was like, I don't want that. I knew this is exactly what I'm looking for. So that comes my husband.
Yeah.
Then comes my first. I've got Wamboi. Wamboi is 15.
Oh, no.
I reverse.
Oh, reverse. Because see, you've met him.
I've
See,
met
you've called mom.
You see me, I've already gone into our marriage.
It's okay. So you've told mom, you've told your best friend. How then do you guys make a connection? Like, how do
that
you
one,
say hi?
Let me tell you, I worked for that. Because I felt this is my partner. I thought it would be instant. So he was not saying hi. So it's gradually, from the time of meeting, I bumped into him at the water fountain, invited him for my birthday. By that time, we'd become gym buddies. Hi. So I told him, my birthday is coming up, May 21st. He said he'd love to attend my birthday. Still, that's it. So I would actually leave the gym, sit in his line of path. Yeah? So that on his way out, I'm like, this is going to be the first impression you're going to have or going out.
Yes.
So that happened. Then one time randomly in the evening when I'm exercising, he came and he's like, hi. Then he asked if he could buy me dinner. And I was like, yeah. So then we joked and we did that. Then my birthday is during May 19th, nothing. May 20th. So I told him, hi. He's like, I'm like, are you coming for my birthday? He's like, yeah. And I said, how do you plan to get the directions? And he's like, I was going to get your number. He'd not asked for my number at that point. So I was like, okay, so my birthday is going to be this place, this time. And he was like, okay. So then me and my best friend, we shared a birthday then.
Yeah.
Met, came, bumped into me there. He held my hand. And that was it. So flashback, now we are dating. So that was May 21st. We're dating and I tell him what happened. It turns out for him, he'd already told his friend, a good friend who was in Australia then, that he had met his wife. But he had not talked to me about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So while we were gymming and doing that, I'd done a journal for him. Now this is when we started chatting and that for exercise, how to be accountable.
Yes.
So he said that was the sweetest thing somebody had done for him. But I'd written it so that he can be able to write out your meals, your exercise plan. So with that action, he told his friends, this is what had happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And now you dating comes your firstborn.
So dating,
Yeah.
6 weeks into dating, he told me he was going to marry me. I told him I always knew. I told him you were my husband. You know, and I told him now about how I'd already seen the vision and that. I told him it took you so long. And he was like, I knew. So his story is, I look intimidating. I look like I'm used to being hit on. So he didn't know. He was thinking of a way of approaching me. Whereas for me, I thought in that action, he was taking a bit of time.
Yes.
Yeah. But I say God's plan is always the best.
It's
plan.
always the best. Yeah. You spoke about, you saw it in your vision.
Yes.
You knew this was the person that you wanted.
100%.
How do I know who I want? How do I know
I wish I could teach it. I wish I could tell you. I tell my daughters, I've got 4 girls, and I tell them, I wish I could tell you how to know. But you just know. And I know it's such an irritating statement, which maybe you've heard in the past.
It's not.
But I just knew. I say if my husband now told me, pack up everything, we're going to go live in a ditch, I'd follow him. I won't ask twice because he's the priest in my home. And I know I'm with my person. I can't explain it. But what I can tell you is I know when it's not the person for you because you feel it.
It comes with a lot of confusion.
It comes with confusion, conflict, and your intuition?
Your gut feeling.
That is in every one of us. So if a lot of times you ask people, they'll tell you how they should have known or it didn't feel right. And because, of course, I've experienced dating before. Yeah, and I've even been engaged. And I said, you're not the person God has chosen for me. And the person's like, how? I was like, it's good. You're good for dating. I can't explain. But I just feel like this is not going to work. Marriage-wise. I also knew then. So how do you know? I'd say don't be accidental about love. Love is romanticized. Love is beautiful. Love is giddy. Love is that. How does your relationship look 10 years from now, 20 years from now? I wanted somebody I could confide in, talk to, and would just accept me the way I am. And I like to say it's not everybody that can do that, but your person will. Does that make sense?
In a lot of sense.
And it's not
supposed
difficult,
to be a struggle.
But it's not meant to be a struggle, but you have to put in work. So I don't discount, this is now marriage-wise.
Yes.
I don't discount because God has revealed your person to you that there'll not be work. I believe a relationship, you're 2 individuals from 2 different homes coming together and standing on love and promise.
Yes.
Yeah? And commitment to both your friends and God when you get married and saying this is us.
Yeah.
But what happens after that? Of course, there'll come children, there'll come commitment, there'll come all these things. So it's a daily choice. You daily commit to saying, I do. My I do does not end at the altar. My I do is daily.
It's daily.
When you annoy me, I remind myself, I do. Because I don't expect you to be perfect. And when I annoy him, I like to think he also says, and we joke. But I know when I have good news, he's the first person I want to share that with. And I know when I have bad news, he's the first person
that you
I want
to share.
Yeah. So that he can tell me. When he says an okay from him, I know it's okay.
You know it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm wishing everyone listening to this,
does that make
kind of
sense?
love, you know.
Does that make sense?
A lot of sense. Because I have my past.
Yeah, you see, hey, confess. Please.
No, please. Moving on.
No, just
no. Like, you know, there's that person, when you have good news, hey, I have good news. When I have bad news, I have bad news.
Yes.
And you don't even think twice. Should I tell them? Should I
not?
not?
Or how do you do it?
Like, I'm just like, hey, I have bad news, this and this and that. Yeah. So I think it's beautiful.
I think
it's
that's
a beautiful
what it is.
feeling.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is.
And
I'd like to say, then of course will come the children. And with children, I remember the firstborn, it's a bit easier because it's one. one child. So it's the firstborn and husband, then comes two. So then you also have to learn to manage your time and your commitment to each other. Because children will come through you.
Let's put in fitness as a first-time mom, because you are naturally a gymmer, right? I
like how Paul said that, because I'm a health and wellness coach. Just because it is my purpose, my passion, and my career does not mean it is every day that I will wake up automatically and know I want to gym.
Yeah, but it's in you.
It is in you.
Right? Yes. Like me, I know I can host this show anywhere. Like I know I know I can do it naturally. But then now you're a first-time mom. So I've seen people who go to the gym when pregnant. How did yours come about? And did you also go through after? Did you go through postpartum?
Yes. So I gymmed throughout my pregnancy. With my first, actually all my kids have gymmed. I thank God for that. So I've exercised because I knew I have to exercise knowing there's labor ahead. You have to read as much as you can. Both the shocking stories, the worst. I believe in knowing what you're going to face. If you don't know what you're facing or read up on it, it can knock you off your feet, right? So I exercised throughout my pregnancy. My firstborn, I delivered normal delivery. I thank God I was induced. It went well. And then I resumed the gym within 6 weeks. Only because it wasn't, I keep saying, it wasn't so much about my snapback body, but fitness gives me balance. I knew that when I've done something difficult, first thing in the morning, there's nothing else that's hard that I can miss or that I can do. So with her, I gymmed. My second daughter, I had an emergency C-section. So I tried to go back to the gym after 4 months. It was difficult. I was in pain, so I didn't. The third again, I gymmed. So I spaced that 3.5 and I gave birth normally after the C-section. So again, I'm a believer that with your exercise and commitment and daily committing like you plan to, I've got you on camera.
But I love what you said. It's not even about the body, the figure. It gives you balance.
Mental
balance. It's a mental balance, you know. It gives you so like this mental toughness, like I can do anything that I want to.
Yeah, you go like the Barbies. I know, my call-outs. Okay, so
I'm never telling you anything in secret. Yes, like it gives. So I love that.
Yeah. So it builds your mind. So again, then there I am with the kids. Exercise, fitness helps you time management wise.
How was marriage life? Now we are at baby number 3, right?
Yes.
So how was marriage life? Because
marriage is beautiful. I know. Okay, sorry, I'll stop.
No, go on.
Yeah.
When I hear that,
marriage is beautiful. What I've learned, I always use a hashtag marriage is awesome, kumitena. You speak, kumitena, tutaongeza we at 16, kumi plus.
Yes.
You speak into your life what you want to see. What does that look like? The same way you declare, you make declarations. For me, getting married, and I thank God for that, even getting into a relationship, relating with a person, one person, and discussing this with, I know for a fact can come with challenges. I know it has come with challenges for us as well, because then there's been the balance. And there's nothing we've not experienced. We've experienced everything. Me thinking, oh my God, when you're younger in marriage, in your 20s, your obsession then is like, why me? Or you see a beautiful girl, you're like, oh, is there this? But then I had to remind myself, this is the one God has kept for me. My husband's the one God kept for me. God doesn't make mistakes. He's intentional in the choice that he gave me. So what does that look like for me? Marriage is awesome. It is awesome because I made a commitment and he made a commitment. I'll speak on me because I'm the one who's here. I made a commitment to work on my relationship. If I'm unhappy, I'll tell you. If I don't understand something, I'll tell you. I won't tell Lynn. In my 20s, I might call and be like, Lynn, I don't know why this is. If you're newly married, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Be very careful about who you allow into your home and to speak onto your relationship and how it should be. When you get married, you're one.
Wow.
When you're one, so they say you'll cleave. One will live and cleave onto the other person. You mirror each other. And it doesn't mean you're marrying the person who's the same as you. So marriage is awesome in the sense that I get to discuss with my husband. This is what I'm thinking. This is how it should be. If I'm unhappy, he'll know. I'm not somebody to hide. In the past, I could sulk. Now maturity has taught me sometimes when you sulk, it's only you and you're sulking. No one knows what you're sulking about.
Yeah.
Because if you don't tell me, if I don't tell you, Lynn, I'm irritated with you because of ABCD, can you know how to tell me either sorry or give me a solution? Can you? No. But what you bring to light and expose then gives room for conversation. In the conversation, either comes reassurance, direction, love. If you need to be reassured, then that is done. And with that helps you evolve. Yeah. So marriage is beautiful.
Yeah. And communication is...
Communication is everything. Communicate when you're happy. Communicate when you're unhappy.
I feel like we just communicate when you're unhappy.
Yeah. And that is like nagging, which is also, I guess you can call it, so men call it nagging, we call it motivational talking. Women.
Wow!
So we each name things different. I'm like, it's not nagging, it's motivating. It's not motivating.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you communicate and say your frustrations, also reaffirm and remind and express where that is coming from.
Do you constantly remind your husband he's handsome?
Every day. My husband is handsome. No one can tell me otherwise. That man is hot. He's beautiful. Inside and out. He is a beautiful man. And he's a good father. And he's a good partner. If he walked in right now, I'm still in awe of how he looks. Yeah. Every day I tell him, and he always jokes and tells me still, I tell him, imagine you're hot. You are, and not because I'm just telling you. I don't know, how can I explain it? He's good looking. He's hot. I show you.
Yeah. Oh no, people are seeing on the...
let us see. No, but it's not only his physical. I tell my hubby, one of the things I found and still find constantly attractive, I tell him he's got workman hands. My husband builds. He can build. He built our marriage bed. He's built shelves in the house. He's got a gift of building. And I think with that, I always tell him I can't sleep hungry. Because I know with you, you build. And the same way I see you building tools, you build me and you build our home. Knowingly and unknowingly.
Yeah. This is the part I throw in. This whole question about submission in leadership. You said your husband is your priest. He's the priest of your home. He leads you. He guides you, right? You are the wife. Because there's always this, and I like that you said you start your day with the Bible studies, which means you have a very great foundation.
Thank you.
So, to you, what does submission look like as a wife?
Okay.
Is it what a man can do, a woman can do better? Is it, oh my God.
I want to talk about that.
Feel free.
So, in my 20s, submission was challenging because I'm used to getting my own way. And then, I always say my husband's the one person who taught me you can say no and I listen. Because me will tell me no, I'll be like, I can do it anyway. You know, because I was so used to pushing, even in my past relationships and that. But he's firm. His no is firm and filled with love. I'm like, you're not going to do that. He's like, I know you're upset, but it's not going to work like that. And I respected that. So in my 20s, there was a bit of tug of war between me trying to get my own way. But then comes the children. Then I ask myself, am I going to be am I competing with you as the man? Or am I going to step into my role as your partner and your wife? And I made a very conscious decision. What does this look like for me? It means I'll share my thoughts with you. And even though you may disagree with them, I won't openly challenge you. I will pick my moment. Because if I'm openly challenging you, I'm being defiant and clashing with you. And you're the priest in my home. And I learned when I do it in that way, he'll then say, what do you think? And the way I will communicate on what I think will not be words thrown out in frustration or anger, challenging his place. And that to me is what submission looks like. Submission looks like just because what I know or think is different from you, I don't outly have to challenge you immediately. I can either say, let's pray over it, or tell you quietly, maybe this may not be. I don't see it working in this sense. I'm a strong-willed woman, but I will submit for my husband, and I do submit for him. Because it is not a competition. We are one. It is a collaboration, and we are partners. What does partnership look like? You speak, I listen. I speak, you listen. And just because I don't get my own way, it's not, there's no winner. In marriage, it's not you've won, we've won.
Yeah.
It's not.
Do you think that's what we are struggling with? You know, I was reading an article on radical feminism, and there's this whole analogy out there, like, you can't tell me what to do. I got my own place, I got my own. Do you think, especially in the African context, do you think that's what we are struggling with? Or do you think our men do not understand leadership? They confuse leadership with dictatorship. Because if someone dictates, you can't do that. No. If their no is a no, their yes is a yes, to me, that's not leadership. That's you being dictatorial, right? So what, from your observation, where are we going with this?
I like to say the man is the head, I'm the neck. Meaning, again, it is not what does dictatorship look like? What triggers are you carrying? Why does somebody tell you no make you feel that he's trying to control you? If you know who you are, and if you're open to saying that, you would not feel that way. Just because people went to Beijing, I think we confused feminism. Feminism did not mean what you can do, I can do better.
Yeah. It wasn't
doesn't
a battle
between
it is
men
not.
and
women.
It is not a battle. I like to, in fact, I always joke to my husband and tell him, listen, my love, God created you. God made you. Then he created me. He put you to sleep, took a rib, and then created me. You are made, me, I'm created. Meaning, we bring different things to each other. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to, my submission to you does not make me a weak person. It makes me very strong. To be able to identify and see, with this conversation, it's not going to go this way, even if I continue. And I hold my mouth. That is wisdom. And I say, women, we carry a lot of wisdom. Be careful how you use it. It is not a challenge. Submission is not a bad thing. Allowing your husband to guide you or your partner to guide you is not a bad thing. Now, I'm not saying you submit. Again, you can submit to the wrong person.
Yes.
So you have to be prayerful or know what and how your partner looks like.
So
you don't go around submitting to everybody.
I know. I think that's
because
where
you're
the
not a
problem
doormat.
is. Yeah, are you submitting to the right person?
To
That
the right
should
person,
actually be
the right
question.
action.
Are you even being led by the right person?
Yes. What does your relationship look like? Why have you chosen who you're with? Have you chosen him because it is your time to get married?
Yes.
Have you chosen him because he ticks all the boxes, especially, let's say, the finance box? Have you chosen him just because he's purely good looking and you're willing to, and exactly, and you're willing to turn a blind eye to his bad habits? Is he open? When you tell him these habits, I can call my husband out on habits that I don't think are working for him. He can call me out on habits that he thinks because I'm very set in my ways. Yeah. So sometimes it's like, I think you're doing a disservice.
Yes.
To how you, but that is making, it's turning into a weakness for you because you think your way or the highway. And because he told me that years back, I can now reflect and tell myself, where is this coming from? Is it from a selfish point of view that I want it my way? And I'm not even saying in a marriage, even in a work context. So it comes with a lot of reflection. Yeah. So be careful who you submit to and don't submit blindly. There are some people you're told to quit your job, you're submitting. Your husband is support you submit. And then later you start saying, because you did that, he's not giving you equal standing. Why did you not say that when you're dating? And why can't you still say that now? Submission gives you a voice.
Yeah.
Submission doesn't mean you're silent or you're mean.
It doesn't make you weak.
No. Submission is a strength. Because I submit to you, you will not take that power from me and misuse it against me.
But it's only clear to someone who is right for you.
Who is right for you, and it's clear. I urge women everywhere, take time to learn yourself. I do Bible study, and it's not a flex that I'm reading the Bible. Me, I want to learn.
I love that.
That is my manual. I want God to work through me. Because I am fortunate enough to know my purpose. You know, my purpose and passion coincided.
What's your purpose?
Called to be of service according to his plan, not my plan. Number one. Wellness. I want to ensure that as I teach you, when you come to the gym, Okay, I'll stop. But I know it's so tempting. It's like, here's the arrow is there.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to teach you,
want
that
to
your
teach
wellness
me.
is holistic. Yes, the tools that I have currently is the gym. But wellness is so much more than that. I just asked you earlier, do you journal? Take time. Bible study means you're quiet with God. I've got a really good guide I'll share with you. It means you take time to learn. And every time I tell God, please give me a word in season. Teach me. And where I'm not doing correctly, destroy and rebuild me. My year of restoration looks like rearranging. My year of restoration looks like change. It means I have to be open to that. Submission back to that means as you submit, what am I submitting to? Why am I submitting? If you're married, you know that your marriage, you got into a committed relationship based on this, built on love, called people, they've cut cake. I always tell my husband, by the way, we're not getting divorced. When we disagree, you'll go downstairs, I go upstairs. And then we'll rearrange ourselves before evening and we'll discuss. Because we will not allow anything to get in between us. And over time, I've learned words said in anger, I have to have control. Because I'm black or white, I can serve it to you hot.
Yeah.
But I've learned, why am I doing it like that to him? If I can apologize to you, Lynn, as my friend, why can't I apologize to my husband? Why do I have pride in my home? Yet out there, I'll tell you in a text, I'm sorry, let's meet for lunch, you're my friend. Why can't I do that at home? Why can't I carry my apology to the house and tell my husband, by the way I spoke to you in the morning was quite unnecessary. Why can't I text you throughout the day? And I can do that.
You can do that.
So let's live an authentic life, both in our relationships.
You are so awesome.
Inside and outside.
I'll tell you
marriage
right
is
now,
beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And marriage works.
And works.
It works because you both work.
Because you both work. I wanted to move into child number 4, but since we are still in marriage.
I mean, I see a wedding is coming. I'd better not miss that wedding. Sawa, nakuja kukata hiyo keki. I've already said, nimeshasema it will come. It is coming. Thank you.
By grace through.
We've got an invite.
But you know,
already.
I'm not doing like the big weddings and.
That's what everyone keeps saying. I'm not doing a big wedding.
Not
Do
like
the wedding
that.
for you.
That's the one I want.
That is the one for you.
I think atantava.
Utakapoa sana. Let me tell you, my wedding I had a small wedding.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to look and connect with everybody.
That's what I want.
I told my parents, I know you want to bring buses.
Yes.
The bus, you'll do it privately.
No, I don't want.
But I want to jump, sit with you. I even wore sandals. I'm coming. We talk. It is you and your partner.
There you go.
And God at the center.
Yes, that's
at
for me.
his appointed
At
time.
his appointed time.
Bas.
But let's talk about, because we say marriage is not just a feeling. It's not, oh my God, he's good looking.
But
He's
that feeling is nice. Bado namwona asubuhi you.
Una feeling kitu bado?
Yeah, imagine I do. Aki is handsome. Even when I'm upset. I see him and then I'm like, okay, let me just forgive him.
Yes.
Joaki the way anaka, even may God
and
thank
then,
you.
Especially when he made you sad, their face tends to look like wahurumiwe too. They're like,
imagine.
he looks good anyways. But it's not just that.
No,
it's so
not.
many. So how do you keep
many
the
factors.
spark, alive in your marriage?
Aside from my many wigs, I'm joking. Never tire on dressing up for your husband and dressing down. I try to intentionally know exactly what it is that he likes. That's between me and you. I'm not going to tell you because maybe then you will start looking equal. I'm joking.
Me, I look like you.
But I know spending time for him is a factor. You learn each other's love language. My love language is affirmation. My husband's love language is acts of service. And I've learned that. So I know a text from me to him goes a long way. I know that if I go out of my way to plan something for us, goes a long way.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've learned that. Number 1. Number 2, I always joke, but I'm not really joking. I always say jokes because, like I said, I'm black or white. I can hurt you with my words.
Yes.
So jokes kind of like smooths it over, but it's not a joke. It's all seriousness. Just because you've had a baby doesn't mean you have to, no offense, Dettol t-shirts. I always use Dettol t-shirts. You don't have to allow yourself to just
look
be.
like.
Yes, you have done an amazing job. And by the way, in God will reward you with a crown in heaven. And on earth, everyone applauds you for being a mom. it's not about the snapback, but it's very important to still look attractive.
Look hot.
Even if it's not, at least look clean. Because you know the baby can spit up on you. Or there is a t-shirt, somebody has come from work, you're opening the door, you still look there. It's just like, let me just pass out and have drinks with my boys to get energy to go face that image at home.
Yes.
No. So look neat. For you and for that. I know there's postpartum depression.
Yeah.
And I always believe in how you look is in correlation to how you feel. For me, I know in exercise, there's nothing you can tell me. Even if I'm in that Dettol t-shirt, I look empowered. But if that is not you, and you know the way you look, then you start saying, and I meet a lot of women, they tell me, no, just look at me, I have a tummy. I tell them, I had the same tummy. It's not so much about because you've got a stomach and that. He loves you for who you are. But how you feel about yourself guides his reaction towards you.
Yeah.
There are some people, you know, if you keep telling yourself, okay, by the way, I've gained. Now your partner starts saying, by the way, umenona, because it's you who's taught him that. Or he's not even thinking that. To him, he's saying you're curvy. I like my hubby always jokes. He tells me in all sizes, he still finds me attractive.
Wow.
But I also know in all sizes, I'm okay. And I'm very happy. I still wear my pregnancy clothes up to 6 months. If it's what fits.
Yeah.
And accessorize them with earrings and that. I will not say, I will not dress some type of way because I just had the baby. Do it for you.
Do it for you.
And it gives you a lot of more love towards your little one, towards your partner.
Yes. Like they am feeling
And
with this
yeah, the way you feel,
today.
the way and you look nice.
I know.
It's-
Scholar asked me. Scholar asked me. Is
Our
there
scholar.
Is there an important guest coming?
Scholar, you don't spoke into this
No,
outfit.
she's
but-
like, no. What? She meant like government, whatever. I'm like, scholar. come
Amen.
on.
Scholar, hapo ndio wapi tumefika.
Hapo ndio tumefika, yes. But I love that. You
Yeah,
know,
just be intentional with how you look, how
Yes.
you feel, speaks into how people will treat you.
How do you deal with, because you are very gorgeous, and as
Thank
you
you
said,
very
you know,
much.
he's very handsome, and you know, sometimes people don't have manners. Men will just look at you like this, and women will just look at him like, unajua siku hizi people say, hata kama amekona watoto wa 7.
That's what I discovered. Because I got hit on when I was pregnant. I was so amazed. And I went home and I told him, my love, you see, hey, me, I'm a ready-made family. So you need to focus. You see, even with the number 4, I can go. I'm joking.
No.
I'd like to say that's normal. Again, I'll go back. I don't know if it comes with age.
Yeah.
In my 20s, it used to irritate me. I remember one time my hubby made a comment. And Duncan, I'll say this, which I've already told you over the last years. He said, sorry, for the last 18 years. But there was a lady who were in town, and he told the lady, you've really worn that dress. And I was so irritated, because I told him, do you know, for a woman, when you make that comment, in her head, she knows she can have you like that.
Yes.
And then he was like, no, me, I meant she's all. And I told him, some conversations or compliments, keep them internal.
Thank you.
You know, and I jammed. I remember I was 28 and I was so irritated with that statement. And I brought it up. And then, in my foolishness, I did the same thing. Now we're out with this friend, and I told this, hey, you really worn those pants well. And then my husband looked at me.
We are about to chase from?
He looked at me, and then later he's like, and I told him, how did that make you feel? And he's like, I get it. And I told him, I don't want us to have this kind of conversations because I don't want to have to openly point to you. And I told him, the thing is, I am a woman. And I would like to say women, we are very powerful. We are very powerful. Yeah. And a woman who is bent on destroying, and even in the past, I've told him, that woman, I don't like her. And even, that woman, I can't tell.
Yes.
But then something happened. After my 3rd child, I made a comment to him and I told him, my love, I'm not going to do this kind of conversations because it can either make me go crazy, assuming, because to me, you're the most handsome man on earth.
Yes.
That everybody wants you. You're a responsible man. And I'm a responsible woman. In regards to people hitting you, imagine people will always hit on you. I'm hit on, I'm sure even him is hit on, but in his wisdom, perhaps he's seen better. Before I come to his office and tell him, I like the way you wear this suit, he may not tell me. Yes. But marriage is making a daily commit. I commit to you. You commit to me.
Yes.
Nothing else matters.
And I commit
and I cannot tell you, don't look at that woman. Even me cannot. I can tell him, we can be together, I tell him, that guy is hot. That's where we've reached. And he's like, And he can equally tell me, oh, that lady is interesting. It doesn't mean he wants to go to that woman. He should be free to be able to have that kind of conversation
with you.
So that's where we are at currently.
Are you guys best friends?
We are.
Wow.
We are.
Look at
He's my best friend.
Yes.
And I can tell him that guy, that person is hot, this lady is this, and that is that. But I don't have the same insecurities I may have had when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I used to hear people saying, like, as you get older, these things, maybe I've reached that part as you get older, 6 years to 50, perhaps. Yes. But the more you know yourself, the more you know who you're not.
Yes.
So I'm constantly working on learning who I am.
Half of knowing who you are is knowing who you're not.
Exactly.
That's just it.
Thank you. You've put it very well. So now I know it's fine.
Match your wisdom.
Umesurpass. Hapo umeisema. No, so I don't have that.
Yes.
I'm not going to wake up the first thought. Guard your mind. Guard your mind. Wow. If your mind is constantly thinking, my man is looking at other people, imagine you're speaking into it.
You're manifesting it.
You are. Guard your mind.
Guard.
Me, I say my husband loves me, and he does.
Again, there are so many people who are watching you, especially women, and they are struggling. There's that point, the age hits you. You're like, now I'm growing old. Yeah. I don't have a baby. There's nothing here for me. Yeah. And you had 3, but you still wanted baby number 4. Yes. Then came the menopause scare. Yes. Please take us through that part individually and what you would also want to tell the people who are watching that don't even have the moms in waiting, the wombs in waiting.
So I've had 3 children.
Yes.
And I'm experiencing hot flashes.
What are hot flashes?
Hot flashes is something you never want to experience, but I promise you it will come in the next many years to come. Yes. So with hot flashes, it means you feel hot and then you feel cold. You feel hot, she knows, because like I used to constantly, it's like this, you're feeling hot. Then you remove your sweater and then you feel very cold. So I was experiencing a lot of hot flashes. I was experiencing at the same time a bit of a stomach, a gut. And then I thought to myself, and I was still exercising, I was lifting weights and I was doing this, and I said, this is not normal. And at the same time, I'd not seen my periods in a long time. So at first, initially, it was maybe 3 months, then 4 months, and then gone. So I discussed with my hubby and I told him, you know what, I'm going to go and get checked because something is off. This hot, cold is not normal. And then because I'm in health and wellness, I knew this is hormonal for sure, because there's no way I'm having a stomach. I am eating healthy most of the time. Yes. I believe in balance, but not enough to experience an overnight stomach, and there's no sign of a baby. So I go and I get checked. I make an appointment and they check. I do all these tests and the results come back and she tells me I have menopause. And I'm like, no, I was 41 then. I just had a birthday and I was 41. So I told her, are you sure? And she told me, yeah, it's 100% you've got menopause. So I remember feeling devastated, scared. Of course, I didn't cry in her office because I had lashes. And I was very lashes. I know, very shallow of me, Vinita, very shallow. Yes. But I went and I called a good friend and I told her. And I also called my mom. And my mom laughed and she told me, I got it at 35.
Menopause. You can get menopause
after 5 children. Yeah. So she's like, I got it. And she said, a lot of my friends then were getting it. You can.
Why are you scaring us?
You can. Menopause,
but menopause starts at 45 and stuff.
No. It even, for example, even starts at 55. Me in my head, mine was coming at 60. I'd already assigned it. I knew mine was not coming at that time.
Now me, I'm serious.
So, she told me. You can.
At 35.
If you're Lynn.
Me, I'm scared.
Our twins wakuje mapema.
They are twins.
I'm always issuing out twins. Yes. You can experience it. So I talked and she told me a lot of her friends then, when she was working, she said, they'll give you the option of hormonal treatment or normal. She said she didn't take hormones. So she told me when your sister got it early, and you, so she told me 41, it's around that time. So she said, don't do the hormonal treatment. The doctor, when she gave me the news, had suggested I go on hormonal treatment. She told me, did you want to have other kids? I told her it would have been nice, because you never want, I think as a woman, you're never really ready for somebody to tell you, it is time, your uterus. And I'm not saying I imagine at 60 still carrying on procreating. Yes. But like I mentioned, my husband is handsome. Who knows the possibilities? But I had no clue that this is what was happening. I had an inkling because I said, perhaps it's hormonal. So she told me that. And that door shut. So then I told her, I went back to her. She told me, go home, think about the hormonal treatment. I told her I have to discuss it with my husband. And in reality, I had to accept the news myself. I was not ready for that kind of statement spoken over my life. I'm very sensitive to what you speak over my life. So I made the appointment. I went back and showed me, okay, so are you ready to start the hormonal treatment? Because she's like, why she was suggesting the hormonal treatment. She was like, when you don't have your periods, a lot of things, it has a lot of repercussions that go in. You can Google all the things that go with menopause. So I sat and I told her, actually, I've decided I'm not going to do it. And she was very shocked. She said, so that is it? So she said, if you're going to have kids, you need to consider IVF or adoption. I told her, it's okay. With God's time, we could discuss adoption or that. But I told her I'm not going to do the hormonal treatment. So I went and I sat down with myself and I thought about it. And I was like, what are the things I could do different? Then I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to change my eating habits. Because I feel in some sense, simple carbohydrates will gear to how my body is reacting. And I took up running. So I started exercising, running. I struggled because running was new to me.
Yeah.
I started including more vegetables, fruits, and that. And the stomach was slowly going, still no periods. But I was feeling better because I was managing the hot flashes. Slowly over time, the hot flashes had ceased and they were gone. And I was there. And I said, at the end of the day, no one has the final say. It's God who has the final say. So the one person who I should constantly communicate what's going on is with God. So I forgot about it. Yeah. Was just running. Me, I knew, by the way, I'm in a good space. I've managed the menopause. There are no periods. So see, life is good. I don't have to worry about any mishaps. Then comes August 1st. I say 2:47 a.m. and I had a dream. And in this dream, I looked and I saw a baby walking up the stairs. And I was like, whose child is that? In my head. Then the next thing I saw was me breastfeeding. Then the next one I saw was me being handed a baby.
Wow.
And I thought, what does this mean? And I left my room and I went and I sat in my car. I didn't even wake my husband up. And I was asking God, what does this mean? What does this look like? So I sat till around 4:05. Then I went and I told my hubby, but he's used to me in that, my dreams. So I was like, okay, this has happened. And he's like, oh, interesting. So later that day, I decided to test in the evening. Because again, when your hope has been dashed, first of all, you have been told you can't have kids. I'm an optimist. I'm very optimistic about a lot of things. But I think a part of me in reflection perhaps had not completely given in to what I'd just seen. And I didn't understand it. So that's it. So I went, I tested around 2-something, 3. Yes. And it was positive. Now, if you've never been pregnant or done a pregnancy test, they always tell you, the doctors will tell you to test first thing in the morning. Because they believe then you get a true, there's something called false positives and a true positive. So I tested. Then I was like, apana, no. So I tested in Westlands. Then I came down towards closer to my house. I stopped at the chemist. I tested and went to test in that restaurant. And then I bought more. So I did a total of 5 tests. Then they were all positive, 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 positive. Then I was like, can I allow my heart to have hope that this has happened? Wow. So later in the evening, I told my husband and he was like, He's like, really? And my husband bikes. So it's so funny. A biker, there's a joke that when you bike, your count goes down. Huh?
Yeah, for real?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, man.
So now there's that aspect and then there's no periods. I didn't have periods. So we go back to the doctor to test and she tells me she's not going to do a scan because now I want a scan because I've had 3 kids before. And just to speak on that, with my 3 children, in between I've had 5 miscarriages. So I was very aware
5?
Yes, wow. That the minute I am pregnant, I need to be on progesterone to sustain my pregnancy. But then the doctor is like, there's no pregnancy. She's like, it must be a false pregnancy. So we're not going to do. Me, I told her, I've already seen that baby walking. The baby is coming. That was God confirming, 1, there's a baby on the way. 2, he has the last say. 3, just because you've been told a no from a human does not mean it's a no from God. He always has space. And I kept thinking, just because you have reached the end and you've tried everything and it is not working, don't believe that. You still have not tried one more way. And yes, I'm not discounting that. There's nothing special about me. There's no, I am so unique and oh my God, God chose me. No. I can't necessarily say that. I call myself daughter of the King, as are you. Yeah? Because ultimately, we're all children of God. But what I do believe and know, and I keep saying, that when God says it is your time, it is your time.
Period.
No one can discount it. You asked earlier, what would I like to say to somebody waiting?
Yes. Men and women.
Men and women. I won't say I have the perfect word for you. But what I can tell you is God speaks and God listens at his appointed time. And when you let go completely, I let go completely of the thought. In my head, this was it. Me, I had no periods. And I still don't. FYI.
Yeah.
Me, I had no periods. So I let go completely and left it to him. So if you let go completely to him, then you give him the space and time to take control of it. It says when you pray, it's a promise between you and him. And then for the time is going to be up to God to answer you how it needs to be. But I cannot say, God, lead me to Lynn, and then I take myself to you. Because now there's a confusion.
Yes.
You let go, you let God. So if you're in waiting, he's heard your cry. He heard mine. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect. Now I say hashtag Mamofo. I'm always like, wow. And I'm telling you, every day I see my daughter, she's called Olua Tosin, or Tosin for short.
Yeah.
Every time we meet, it's still again, I'm like, she's here.
She's ours.
She's here and she's ours. And back to after 3 months, I remember now, once I went back and did the scan.
Yeah.
And then now the doctor was like, what did you do? I told her, it's not me, it's God. But in retrospect, I cleaned house. And that is now on wellness. If you're waiting to have your little one, what are you doing to help God along the way? I had started by eating healthy. I had started by exercising.
Yeah.
So at 44, I still have the energy to run after her.
Can someone reverse menopause by exercising?
Me now, I'm a believer you can. I'm a believer you can. Because not necessarily reverse menopause, reverse the symptoms associated with menopause. Because in this aspect, I didn't reverse it to the point I had periods.
Yes.
So I can't say I reversed it.
Yeah.
But I managed the symptoms such that there were no hot flashes. Such that the stomach was not there. So can somebody reverse? I can't. I don't have men's. Yeah, I can't. I don't have the periods didn't come.
Yeah.
So that it showed me that now I was back to ovulating.
Yes.
I can't tell you when she was conceived or how she was conceived. But I can tell you for sure she's here.
She's here.
And she's beautiful. And God has a plan over your life.
How is it?
Very interesting. She came early.
Yes.
We had planned, she was due in April. She came earlier than expected. So again, she's been a complete surprise in more ways than one.
Yeah.
But she's much loved. And she's teaching me daily. She's teaching me daily a lot. And she knows herself. I can already see it.
Yeah.
She knows her space.
Yeah.
And she knows why she's here. Yeah.
You know what humbles me? It's that even throughout the conversation, I don't know if you intentionally chose not to, but you've not even mentioned, because I know you are co-founder of, when I was checking out Smart Chips, and I was like,
when you're joining us.
Yeah. What is wrong, guys? My sister. I was checking out Smart Gyms, and you are also a very successful businesswoman.
That is very kind. Can I call myself successful? Again, it goes back to...
I will tell you.
I call it?
Before someone told me, do not downplay your achievements, or do not shrink
from where I'm at.
From where you are.
Thank you, Lynn,
Right
for
now,
the correction.
to make it suitable for
Yes.
anyone that is listening.
Okay.
I
So I will display it. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Carry on.
I suffer from crazy
Imposter syndrome.
Thank you.
I've been trying to. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think I also
you
suffer
know,
from
and
it in
I
some
think
parts.
I posted something, and awards I had put them in my house for like, I don't know, forever. And
I saw.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And when I posted, I was really shy about it. I did not know how to. And one of my supporters from the US, she called me and she lectured me about it. And she was like, do not shrink. Do not be shy. You have worked hard. You are deserving. It's not by luck. This is not luck. This is hard work, you know. So when I say successful, this is what I mean. Because I do my due diligence. So when I found out you are also one of the people behind Smart Gym, so it was more of researching and also what what you guys offer your people, because I want to move to you being in this ownership, and also what holistic living is, because it's a word I hear around, but I don't get to understand it.
What holistic life looks like.
But what sets your gym apart? Because I was just doing my whatever, and you know, gyms nowadays, because there's a lot of money in fitness, everyone wants to be fit, and it's a good idea, but it's one thing to be fit and have people that are walking you to be fit mentally. I subscribe to mental toughness, rather than me looking nice and having.
You look nice.
She said it. Nisimame. You want a full outfit.
You look
Do you
nice.
want me start? Yeah, you know, like honestly. So for me, what sets your gyms apart, it's maybe if you walk us now through that, and please take it in. It's a success. If I know about it, and I know a lot of people know about it, then it's a successful venture.
Thank you very much for the correction.
Yes.
I will explain a little bit about what I meant when I said, do I see it's a success?
It's okay.
I see there's so much more to do. Yeah. I keep telling you, I'm called to be of service according to his plan. For me, the bigger dream is wellness. I like to use Java. I'd like to be the Java of fitness. Smart Gyms, yes, thank you very much. I am co-founder of Smart Gyms, and we've got an amazing founder, Graham Hedger, who's equally passionate about fitness. So, yes, thank you, Lynn. We are very successful. Thank you for speaking back into me and reminding me that. We like to use our hashtag saying everybody is welcome. When you come to the gym, again, like I've mentioned, I've been interested in fitness from when I was at a very young age, and I learned at an early age how fitness made me feel. Now that I'm older, I'm told it's wellness and it's mental balance and all those things, and the endorphins that come into that. Fitness gives you balance and wellness. So back to Smart Gyms, we're in 4 locations. We thank God.
Congratulations.
Started in 2017. Actually, 2016 was the initial building works for that. So we are at the junction. We are at Diamond Plaza. We are at the Southfield Embakasi. And we're currently at the Hub. And we are hopeful that we'll open up a lot more locations. Why Smart Gyms? A lot of people ask. When you walk into Smart Gyms, aside from it being the gift of fitness, I want you to live with the gift of wellness. Thank you. So not only about how you feel, not only about how you look. Gyms had a bad name. You know, you only go to the gym when you've gained weight. And demystifying that has taken a lot of time, because we want everybody to come. And that's why it was important and deliberate. We kept saying, follow me to fit. Everybody is welcome. I don't want you to think, I used to hear a lot of people saying, let me first lose weight, then I join the gym. So that they feel they look some type of way. And we just tell them, come as you are. We've got amazing people who are willing to walk with you. We've got amazing, I'm there. And thank you. I'm there. We've got a good team that walks you through the health and wellness and gets you on a program. And not just a program for you to lose weight, not just a program for you to get fit, but you come, tell us what you're looking for, and we help you achieve that.
For me, I think it's peace of mind.
COVID showed us that, right?
Oh, God.
After COVID, we learned a lot more about mental wellness and what exercise can do for you. And it does give you that peace of mind when you own your space.
Do you gym every day?
I hear that a lot. After number 4, I gym 4 to 5 times a week. Yeah,
What
45
does
minutes. What does my gym
routine look
my routine
like?
looks like? Okay, so I start at 3 a.m. in the morning. I do my Bible study. After my Bible study, I arrange myself. I train a lot in the house and not in the gym, only because now that I added my number 4,
Yes.
or rather God blessed us with our 4th born,
Yeah.
I want to be intentional that when I get to the office, I am ready to hit the ground. And the gym opens at 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, so if I plan to be there by 6 a.m. or even 5:30 in the morning, it looks like I've already exercised.
Yeah.
So that when I come, I'm ready to embrace everything
Yes.
that I am needed to do. If there are any issues, if there are clients, I want to walk around, I want to know the clients who are there, I want to discuss and do that.
Yeah.
So that's why it starts. My routine looks like a warm-up, I do stretches. I like to weight train. So I'll lift weights for maybe 30 minutes and then I do some core work now.
Yeah.
And then I do stretches and I'm done. 45 minutes is all you need, Lynn.
Is all you need.
Is all you need.
Yeah. Remind my people the thing that you love saying, if you can't, for people who are scared of starting, for people who have the fear of even going back to the gym like us, you know, for people who are a bit
You
like,
used to, now you're no longer scared. You've already discussed that time.
I'm not.
The way I used to be.
Yes. For people like us who are going to the gym,
Yeah.
who are going back to the gym, I love something you said. If you can't walk, no, if you are crawling, then
So I use the analogy of a baby,
Yes.
which I'll do a lot of because of tossing. You start where you're at. Go back. Remember when you're a child, you crawl,
Yes.
then you stand,
Yes.
then you try to walk, and then you run.
Yes.
You start where you're at. If you know that you've been avoiding, gyms are expensive and all that stuff, what are you doing at your house? So you start with your walking. If you know you're always driving, park further and go. If you're taking the mat, and this thing people keep saying 24 hours. Remember we discussed it?
Yes.
God is deliberate. He gave all of us 24 hours. From the top sergeant to the president to
Till
you.
I'm too.
Everyone has 24 hours. Learn your time management. Start with where you're at. If you know that you can't, you're not able to run, start with walking.
Yeah.
And as you walk, you're building endurance. Once you walk, start with jogging.
Good.
After jogging, go with running.
Just start.
But be kind to yourself. Don't do this thing, like you've corrected me regarding imposter syndrome. Don't downplay your start by comparing my start. Yeah. Don't look at what somebody else is doing and say, I can't be as fit as them. Of course you can't. You're not them. Your journey is deeply personal.
Yes.
So look at you and take account for you as Lynn. What is holding me back? Once you know what is holding you back, now what will I do to walk away from that? And just begin.
And just begin.
Just begin.
And small wins are still wins.
They're all wins.
They're all
the
wins.
fact that you're awake this morning is not a mistake.
It's not.
It's an opportunity to try again.
Yeah.
And begin. And you can begin as many times as you can.
many
I don't know why people think that if you begin and you failed, that is it.
Even 10 times.
Yes.
Do it.
Even 100.
Do it.
In your beginning is your rebirth. There is your rebirth. When you begin, you're reborn.
Yes.
With anything.
Yeah.
Even with exercise. Every new workout to me is a rebirth of sorts.
Yeah.
I've not arrived. I am far from it. That's what
You're
I meant
far
when you were
from
saying,
it.
I am far from it.
Yes.
But I know daily I get to restart again. And I like to say, wasn't God deliberate? He gave us the night and the day.
He was.
And he gave us a sunrise and a
And the
sunset.
sunset.
The sunset to tell us it's okay. Rest. The sunrise to remind us we are ready to begin.
We can begin again.
As many times.
As many times.
Yeah, isn't it?
Powerful. I don't want to let you go.
So constantly remember that.
No, I don't want to let you go. I know there's a lot that we can discuss on.
You're very kind.
I know, because you just make this work easier.
You're
You're just so easy to have a conversation.
Thank you
You're
very
just
much.
so easy to have a conversation with. But to you, you said it's your year of restoration.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yes. I mean, it's a year of rebuilding.
You see?
How does restoration look like to you?
Restoration in this journey where I'm currently at, every year I try to give something that's different. My year of restoration looks like unlearning a lot. In 2022, it looked like gearing towards what I no longer need. So restoration looks like allowing myself to break down and rebuild.
Good.
And I have God at the center to restore me.
Yeah.
And my prayer, like I keep telling you, is whatever I no longer need, take it away from me. And pour into me what I need to get through this season. So I'm reading, a lot more. I am being intentional about my time. I told you, what am I listening to? What am I watching? What am I reading? I never really thought I was easily influenced until again my hubby, he told me you're a marketer's dream. Yes. Because if you market a product good enough, I will be your biggest marketer. Yeah. I like this designer. I will constantly wear her stuff and say it. Yes. What I like, I believe it becomes my truth. And that looked like being very careful then to what I read. What is speaking into my life? Who am I surrounding myself with? And what am I learning from them? So the year of restoration looks like that. And so far, I thank God it's going good.
Amen. It's going
because
good.
Each year, not each year, each day I'm taking stock. And I'm allowing myself to sit quietly with my weaknesses and listen to them. And then lay down what I don't need and learn from it.
And it's important for people to know we can always unpack and learn
old
habits, because habits are learned and they can be unlearned as well.
And that is, again, learning yourself. Because a lot of times we are told that's the way that... I used to say that a lot. Such a careless and useless statement. That is how I am. It is actually not.
It's not how you are. That's an excuse for
you.
It
is an excuse for me not to do the work.
Yes, I know.
It is an excuse. It's like, you know me, I'm like that. I'm not like anything. I'm made in God's image.
I'm not like those.
No.
Stop making excuses.
I can, that is where my image is. Not with how I want to.
Not how you want to.
So anything that I find myself doing repeatedly that no longer works for me, I'm willing to do the work to stop doing it. Period.
Well, I think
that is the year of restoration. To restore is similar to rebuild.
Yes.
Which is similar to letting go.
Yeah.
Which is similar to letting God.
Yes. Let go. Take home for me.
Yes.
Is the way you say it. Just forget about it. Let go and let God.
Let go and let God.
And let God.
Yeah. And back again, just a word in season. If you're in waiting, it just means your time has not yet come to pass. It doesn't mean it won't.
Yes. It has not come to pass.
Your season.
It's not over.
Recognize your season for what it is. There's the waiting season. Recognize your season.
Speak on that, because we confuse our seasons.
Yeah.
We confuse our seasons.
Very easily.
Yes.
So recognize your season for what it is. It is a season. It is not a lifetime.
It's a season.
It is a season. And with any season, it will pass into another season. And just because you're in this season right now, you're in winter, doesn't mean your summer is not on the way.
Yes.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
So be careful to name your season for what it is, a season, and not a lifetime.
Nice. Don't confuse your seasons, guys, with a lifetime. Yeah. I don't want to wind up. I know I have to wind up, but
it's okay.
Before I do that, and before I can let you say a special message to your husband and your kids, because I know they will watch Mommy at some point. It's online. They look at you 10 years later and they're like, Mommy, this hot.
You're so kind. Thank you so much. That will be my word of the day. I'm hot. I mean, I've arrived.
Yeah, you are hot.
Thank you, Lynn. You're kind. Thank you.
Truthfully. But is there anything you wanted to tackle that we've not touched on and you think you can briefly touch on?
I'll mention work-life balance.
Go on.
That has been something that I know a lot of people, including myself, struggle with. Just because you're investing in life does not mean your work has to suffer. So it goes back to 24 hours. I like to say be very deliberate and be selfish about those 24 hours. Write them out according to what it is you want to achieve. That is what balance is about. Balance is not about constantly striving. It's not never perfect. It's like the scales. The tip one way, the tip one way. If you're a mom, I'll talk to moms because of course, as you've heard. If you're a mom, recognize again the time at where you're at. Invest. It's not about the quantity of time, it's the quality. Don't feel guilty because you're a corporate woman and you only have 30 minutes with your daughter or your son. Make that time accountable. Trust me, your children will not say, Mom sat with me for 10 hours or 20 hours. But it's that connecting and keying in that time with them.
Yes.
Don't compare yourself again with somebody who's been with their child. I can be with my child for 8 hours and I'm on the phone.
True.
So it's about your balance. If you know that you love your work, it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice one for the other. Back to your time management.
You can balance.
You can balance. And some days it will not be 100%, but never tire of striving for balance. Because God is intentional. And he gave you the gift of family, he gave you the gift of work, and he gave you the gift of wellness and life.
And you have 24 hours.
24 hours.
Just like everyone
That
else.
is, I did so much time, imagine.
Yeah, imagine you. By the more you, I did that and I was so sick of myself.
Yeah.
The time you waste in between
is
it's
a
too
lot.
much. It's too much. It's too much.
So be deliberate.
And very intentional.
About and do things that you love. Invest in things that you enjoy. And even you have a lot of time to learn.
Yeah, things
Never
that
tire of learning.
Speak to me.
Yes.
Like, I just said I'll be very intentional about things that speak. Gotta speak to me first 100%. Before I do it.
There you go.
I want to be selfish about that fact.
And it's okay. You're not even being selfish. That's self-awareness.
That's
be aware.
The rate at which we confuse self-awareness to selfishness.
No, it's self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
It's self-awareness.
Thank
it's
you
not
for
selfish.
That. Self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Thank you for that beautiful correction. But your handsome husband, my people are also praying for all of us. We are together in this, but you're amazing.
My personal
Your personal person will watch. Your kids will watch.
I know, now I'm looking down. I'm like...
Now you are shy. We've experienced you before this. Looking at that camera, what would you want to say
to my family and to my husband?
Yes.
I thank God for you. I'm grateful I found you in this lifetime. And thank you for walking this journey with me. For my beautiful daughters, you're the ones that God gave me and kept for me. You're blessed to have a lovely dad.
Yeah.
I am blessed. And I told you people, by the way, you better start praying for your husbands now. They keep telling me, Mom, do you think we'll get somebody like Dad? God listens.
Yes.
And Duncan, you're an amazing person. Aside from being extremely good looking, you're an amazing person. And thank you for giving me space to be. And thank you for holding my dreams. And thank you for speaking life back to me.
I love that.
Kumi tena.
Tuonane 2032.
2032. 16 plus 10. Kumi, yeah, 26.
From
we
this
keep
year,
going. We keep going. We keep going.
Yes.
But I'm thankful.
Yeah. What would you want to say to yourself?
Wow. I didn't see that one coming. I'd like to say, Vinita, be kinder to yourself. I'll tie that in with having my fourth born. My fourth born has taught me that grace abounds all. At some point, I remember when it was like, finally, wow, it's here, it has happened. Number 4 is here. I was like, how will I manage? Then God would say, I'm here. How will I do it? My friends have had kids, they've moved on. I've got a wide stream of friends. I made younger friends. And then she came. Then she came early. Hey, my daughter, Tosin, you came to teach me to live in expectance. So it's to remind myself that grace abounds all. To remind myself that it's okay. So speaking to me as Vinita, keep learning. I've learned that at his appointed time, at his appointed time, he will make it right.
And make it so beautiful.
And make it perfect and beautiful. And it has been. So it's not... she came to teach me to let go and let God. And not be co-host with God. I share my dreams and I let him be.
That's powerful.
So it's to remain open.
Yes.
Be open to change. Be open to learning. Be open to new experiences. I'm in awe that I'm actually seated here with you. I truly, truly, truly am. And I'm not just saying that to be nice. Aww. Like I told you, when I'm black or white, I say jokes to balance.
Yes.
But I really, really, really am thankful.
Thank
and
you.
That again I attribute to God. Because in no way or time did I foresee this.
No.
So I am learning to remain open in my season. And I'm urging you to remain open in your season. And allow your season to reveal what it is you need at that time.
And don't confuse it.
Don't confuse. Absolutely not.
Don't.
Your winter, summer, it will change. Seasons
change.
And let me tell you, again, it's very easy. Back to guarding your mind. Guard your mind. What you what you watch, what you listen to, who you surround yourself with. Again, in your season, if those 3 things, you surround yourself with the wrong people, they will ordain it and call it your lifetime. And then you will believe it.
Yes.
Because the people you talk to speak to you. So if they tell you this is the way, this is where you've reached, it starts becoming your truth.
Yes.
So it's up to you to be very deliberate with those 3 things. And remember, we are always going through seasons.
Yeah.
And God is intentional. This earth He has put us in, we're not meant to suffer.
We are not meant to suffer.
No, we are
refuse.
not. He has given us this earth.
Yes.
This is ours.
To love.
To enjoy its experiences.
Yes,
when we've learned those experiences, we go back home.
We go back home. This is the experience.
This is the
right
experience.
Here.
And your experience
Yeah.
is according to His plan. If you invite Him to direct you and show you what that plan looks like.
Period.
And it's similar. Like, again, back to that thing. I'm sure you've had it. Some people, you go and you push the door. It's not opening. I know it happens to me sometimes. Then somebody comes and they tells you
it
goes
way.
This way.
Pull. Don't push.
That is what your season looks like.
Yeah.
If you don't recognize your season in time, you're pushing against a door that is meant to be pulled.
Thank you.
But when you recognize it and you sit back, then He will reveal how it's meant.
Yes. Thank you. You're the one person I'm finding so hard to let go, but
you're so kindly. No. Thank you so much.
I have to for my next guest. But where can people find you? When can my audience? They already seen Smart Gyms or wameziona sasa kwa video. They are playing there. But where can people connect with you across all platforms?
I'm on Instagram under my name.
Very easy.
Vinita Otieno. I'm on YouTube, same name.
Yes.
Vinita Otieno.
Yeah.
On Facebook, a bit private, but I am on Facebook.
You're on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you could find me on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah, and I'll share with you.
That's why I DM'd her, guys.
Imagine,
so
I couldn't believe Vivian. Do you see what I did there?
Please, let go and let God.
Let go.
Let go.
I just said that's something I'm a work in progress.
Let go. This thing you are carrying, let God. Anyways.
But I was willing to be called Vivian. I was
for the sake.
After Akinita Vivian, maybe it's short for Vinita.
Short for Vinita.
No, but thank you so much. I really appreciate for giving me space.
Yeah.
And allowing me to be here with you today. I don't take it for granted.
No, I've had quite the time. You've really, you've given me a lot of things to go and think about. And that's what I tell my audience. Sometimes when I bring a guest here, it's not just even for the conversation. It's because even me, I'm looking for something. I'm after something. I want to feel something. And you've given me a lot of things to go and think about. And I hope by the time, I'm done, with my journal, the gym.
Yeah, journaling, the gym. I'm just a phone call away, a DM away. It's okay. At His appointed time. And never tire of doing the work.
Yes.
Just because it gets difficult,
never tire.
It's not a sign that it's not for you. I hear that statement a lot. People are like, no, me, I've tried, it's not for me. Even with marriage, I've tried, marriage is not for me.
Yeah.
Why do you think God wants you to suffer alone? Why is it that God has put it? Adam and Eve. Why is it? What is it about relationships? If you can have relationships with your friends and they speak back to you.
Yes.
Isn't it deliberate? Just because something didn't work, why do you think that's your story? Why is it your story? It is not your story. Refuse it.
What you said is powerful.
It is not your story.
It doesn't mean it's not for you.
That is not the truth. That is the biggest lie. That is the biggest lie. That is the biggest lie. Does it have to come easy?
You just spoke to me.
Does it have to come easy?
Nope. And
not
if it's
necessarily.
Easy, I don't want it.
Yeah. And with that said, doesn't mean that, again, you're not going to marry an onion. Just because someone's making you cry all the time and you're there praying, saying, this is a relationship for me. Take the sign from God before you walk down that altar.
Exactly. Don't marry onions.
Don't say, by the way, when I look back, I was always crying. When I look back, He was making me suffer. No, there's balance. I'm not saying that He will constantly always tell you, you're so beautiful and that. We are human beings, and human beings can error. But it cannot be all the time still loading. Error. No.
Still loading.
Use wisdom, intuition. That voice that God has placed in us.
Good.
To show us the way.
Good.
Use it.
Use it.
And just because you say it is not easy because you don't get... Be careful. Is it not easy because you're not getting your own way? Or is it not easy because genuinely he's an onion or she's an onion? So don't be scared
Spirit
of doing the work.
Discernment.
Spirit of discernment.
We
And
need
don't
it.
fear doing the work.
Yes.
Don't fear doing the work.
Do it. And do it afraid.
And if it doesn't work, it is okay. Tell God, me, I'm believing you.
Yes.
My person is there. My story is there.
Is there.
If it is your work,
my job
same
is
thing.
there.
My job is there.
Good.
If it is your passion,
my passion,
is there.
Good. That's the passion we were looking for.
Passion and
yes.
purpose.
Just because it's difficult, it doesn't mean it's not for you.
No.
Because, I have also seen a lot of DMs. Lynn, things are getting hard.
Yes.
It's difficult. Work is difficult. Just because it
does not mean it can be difficult.
But it's still for you.
It can be difficult.
Yes.
But at the end of it, it will be okay.
It will be okay.
And do the work. You never know why sometimes God is giving you that.
Do the work. Anyways.
Do the work. Yeah.
Edgar, thank you. I am seeing the signs. We gotta go.
Oh, thanks. I know he's just like, Edgar like, woke up early.
The
gym. I'm joking.
Yes, we gotta go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but thank you so much. And please, warm regards to your family.
Thank you.
And to your, I hope we can be a good example to the young ones as well, trying to create shows that are a bit conscious, because I understand this is a digital platform, and what we put in here will stay forever. So, but as you've said,
I like that you're very deliberate about that.
Yeah, and just because it's difficult sometimes, it doesn't mean it's not for us.
Yes,
it's for us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, me, and I'll have some time with you behind the camera. But for my people, I gotta let you go to Rudini kazi sasa. If you took space out to watch this while at work, break, anything, I appreciate you. But then I don't take it for granted that you guys watch content that isn't even past 1 hour. How long are we? 1 hour. I've been told this is close to 1 hour and 30 minutes. And you know the secret, guys, I'll tell you. We don't even edit out.
What?
Like, we'll just edit the parts where we are adjusting the microphone or something like that, but I let the stories go out as they are. So I don't take it for granted that you guys sit and watch content that is even past 1 hour. And I always say, for those who felt like someone's story can be told in 5 minutes or 3 minutes, I respectfully say this is not for you. This is not for you, because I don't like doing that to people's stories. So thank you for watching. But as we always say, what's your take home? Me, I have a lot. I think zinaweza kuwa like five. Let go and let God. We've had that so many times before, but look at it right now in perspective. Just look at how it's working. Just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's not for you. Guys, on the comment section, let me know, what are your me zangu ni mingi sana, and I know there are some of us who are struggling to go to the gym again. Go set your mind free
and just start
afraid. Let's
sijui
tusaikiane ama tuanze Telegram group yetu. Ama niende smart gym niwaambie nataka kufanya na nini trial and error. Maybe I'll document some of these things. Maybe I'll document some of these things for you guys, and one day you will watch them and you'll be motivated. But I appreciate you taking your time, and I hope you've been inspired. And also to our wonderful partners at Kings Developers Limited, it's not easy to put this work together. So when we find people who come together for us and join us through the process, we appreciate you. Check them out, guys. I've spoken about them, their apartments, affordable housing. Now they are regulars on the show. Go check them out and let me know what you think. And also to the people who are sending me emails about Kings Developers, they have their sales email right here. So feel free to approach them and they'll take good care of you. And you can tell them Lynn sent you, but I know they'll take good care. Sijapata feedback moja from you guys negative about Kings Developers Limited. So I appreciate that you're also taking your time. And to thank my incredible team, I don't get to do this alone. Thank you so much to our director, camera person there, Edgar. Asante sana. Assisted by the lovely Scholar. Hi, Scholar. Umelan nini? By Scholar, asanteni sana. And also to our incredible editor, Kelvin and Sam, for compiling this episode and making sure it reaches you guys right on time. info@lnn.digital. That's where you can be able to find me. Remember, we have a Telegram group also. Go join it. The link is on the comment section below. And if you want to connect with my guest today, her social handles are also pinned on the comment section below. Go show her some love. Let her continue encouraging us. She's not only body goals, but for me, she's mind goals. It's her thought process that I genuinely admire. And just to find someone who is living her life, her purpose, being happy, optimistic about it, and choosing to just surround herself with positive energy, for me, that's where the flex is. So take good care of your mental health, guys. And to remind you, it's okay. Pole pole tu, pole pole. Breathe in and breathe out, Kwanzaa. Just go sit in a corner, breathe in and breathe out. It works miracles.
It does.
Whatever you're struggling with, sending you a lot of love and light. I know it's not easy, but hey, she mentioned something important. This is the world that God gave us. This is the experience. We are not going to die so we can have the experience. This here is the experience. Watch what you're surrounding yourself with, what you're listening to, what you're watching, the voices in your head. And I hope one day we can have her back so that she's able to extensively connect to us what exercise and your subconscious mind, how they go hand in hand, and what voices we are supposed to be blocking out.
Absolutely.
I gotta go change and host my next show, but I appreciate you. Thank you to all the supporters. Nimeenda. Okay, bye. Bye.